नमस्कार दोस्तों, जय श्री राम. Today I'm going to talk about the future accomplishments of the soon to be inaugurated Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi. It's a foregone conclusion that he will come back into power and as Prime Minister with a bigger margin than he had in the previous Lok Sabha. He had around 303 MPs plus the tag-alongs who couldn't make into the political scenario without Modiji or BJP support. My prediction would be around 335 BJP alone, plus whatever he gets in the form of his supporters in the other parties. The entire thing makes up NDA, right? But he will have around 335, give or take 10. He has mentioned many times during his innumerable interviews and his public meetings that he has a 125-day program, what he is going to achieve in the first 125 days. But I am going to talk about the first 2 years of this government, what they will touch, what they will change, and how drastic, astonishing the change would be. This is what I believe will happen. I have written down certain points, so I will be consulting that piece on my monitor from time to time. The first one that will see a change, or if I may see, the change will dissolve it into nothingness, is the Waqf Board. Waqf Board in the first place should not exist. It was the creation of Congress party under its Muslim appeasement character. Waqf Board controls close to 850 lakh acres of land. 8.5 lakh. The current value, a very conservative money value that should be put on this 850 lakh acre land that they have is close to 1 lakh 30,000 crore. Meaning 130,000 crore. India's 2023-24 budget was 3 times this value. India's current budget is around 4 times this value. So Muslims have 25% of India's budget in their possession. Despite all the promises Congress has made in the past that they would get 25% of the budget, they already have it. So it was like a few more percentage points were going to be added to bring it up to 40-45% of India's budget. That was Congress's goal. Okay, now I believe that Waqf board is going to be dissolved. It deserves dissolution. Every time Congress was in power, they have added many thousands of acres of land to Waqf board. After partition, the property of fleeing Hindus was distributed among the perpetrators in Pakistan, meaning Hindu properties went to Muslims. They were given to Muslims of Pakistan under Enemy Property Act, something like that. But Nehru decided that the Muslims that had gone away from India to Pakistan, their properties were handed to the Waqf board. Think about this. Muslims going away from India, their properties were given to Muslims, but Hindus that were driven out of Pakistan, their properties were distributed among Muslims. So it was a win-win situation for the Muslims, despite the partition. Manmohan Singh, before 2014, gave away 123 prime real estate slots in New Delhi to Waqf board. Under what pretext? Nobody knows. Still is a mystery. Modiji is fighting to get back all the properties that were donated to Waqf board. He has been successful. I think half of the 123 or 124 have been recovered. But this is the character of the Congress party. Create Waqf board, deposit so much land into their account, and then make it rich, and slowly sow the seeds of one more Pakistan in India. 850,000 acres of land is controlled by Waqf board. A hypothetical scenario, if Waqf board claims that the house you paid for and have lived in for a long time, if the Waqf board decides that that property was built on Waqf land, the current law states that the person in possession is the squatter. until he or she proves otherwise. Waqf doesn't have to do anything. They say, this is our house, this is our property, you have almost lost it. You have to prove in court that Waqf has no right on my property. It is my property. And as you know, the work shy people that helm the courts will drag it on. So the thorns have already been sown. You are sleeping on them until the verdict is out, which takes years. Waqf has to do nothing except give you a notice, file in the court, that's it. This is the law of India. So, Waqf board will see a deserved kick into the oblivion. This is my prediction. This is what I think is on Mr. Modi's agenda for the third term. This is one. UCC, Uniform Civil Code. I have mentioned in an earlier video, a Muslim judge with 4 wives can punish a Hindu for marrying twice. Not my words. These are the words of Sri Balraj Madhok. He was the president of Hindu Mahasabha for some time. Brilliant words. A Muslim judge with 4 wives can punish a Hindu for marrying twice. UCC is implemented. 3 wives evaporate. Whoever has them will have them, of course. It is not going to be a retroactive law. But no Muslims will be allowed to marry 2 times before they divorce the first wife. So the 4-wife fashion of Islam will also go away. All Muslim women will get as much rights in their father's property as is claimed by their brothers. So, one law for everyone. Uniform Civil Code. This is my second let us say an assumption, a surmise as to what constitutes Sri Narendra Modi ji's agenda for his third term. Now my third point, population control. बच्चे 2 ही अच्छे. You go beyond 2 children, the government benefits, the government subsidies will also leave whatever comes after you. Your name will not have as a beneficiary of government schemes. If you have 2 children, you cannot fight any elections. You cannot contest for Lok Sabha or assembly, state assemblies, any decision-making body, public decision-making body. So those rights will be taken away from the people that have more than 2 children. This is my third point that I believe is on Modiji's agenda. 4. The illegal amendment of the constitution during Indira Gandhi's emergency regime. She had put all the leaders behind bars. Without discussion in parliament, she introduced two words in the preamble of the constitution. Preamble for these politicians is so sacred that they don't touch it. That is how it is. Preamble was changed. You can do anything to the constitution, but you cannot touch preamble according to the people that wrote the constitution. Indira Gandhi introduced overnight without any debate in the parliament or in a parliament that was empty. The seats were not occupied. There was nobody to protest this move. It was 100% illegal. She introduced secular and socialist. My hunch is Modiji will remove these two words from Indian Constitution. Despite facing so many, let us say, discriminations, Ambedkar was opposed to including the word secular in the constitution. But Indira Gandhi introduced it. She shoved it, in fact, and into the preamble, which should have remained untouched. So these two words will vanish too. My opinion. Okay, and the cases, the criminal or financially criminal cases against those people that call themselves leaders of this country. I remember Modiji's phrase, Bail Gadi, not Bail Gadi, Bail Gadi. The people that ride Bail Gadi. Two names come very quickly to the mind and on the tip of my tongue. Sonia Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi. The cases have been pending against them for the fraud. Those cases, not just for this mom and son, anybody and everybody whose cases against India, all these leaders' cases I am talking about, the conspicuous faces on the TV, those cases will be expedited and these people will get one-way ticket to the prison. I saw this morning Kejriwal pleading on the verge of tears, playing that stupid emotional card that, okay, even if I die in the jail because of lack of medication, which these people make sure I don't get, I am still proud that I will be dying for you. I am your son. Hey, we don't want children like you, the inveterate liar, a cheat, deception king, and whatnot. So, people like this will also go to jail, as I mentioned just now. Uh, will have one-way ticket sponsored by the third-term Modi government, so that the inexorable, the relentless war against corruption is brought to a point where the birth of the thought of corruption is also treated with a shiver. No, it is easy money, but when caught, there is no if there. When caught, it is a quick way to the prison. This is going to happen in the third term. Okay. Now, various state governments, especially in the south of India, all of them, all the South Indian states, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Kerala, they control the Hindu temples. In Telangana, it is called the Endowment Department. They use the money that Hindu devotees dedicate to the presiding deity of any temple offer. That money is used for the so-called secular ways of the state. Meaning, when I offer a 100 rupee note bill in the hundi or arti, that money is used for anything secular. And secular in India means spending the money on minorities. And minorities, according to Manmohan Singh, are Muslims. My money going to Muslims who have always waged a war against India, especially Hindus. So I am in some way strengthening the hands of the person who will surely execute some of my brothers, impale some of my sisters. So I believe that Modiji will emancipate, free the Hindu temples that sit on hundreds of billions of dollar value properties, liquid as well as immovable. And that money could be used for Hindu temples themselves and could be transferred to those temples in the remote places of this country that need renovation, that need a priest, and he or she or they need salaries. What I am talking here, again, let me repeat. This is what I believe comprises Modiji's third term agenda. This is pure conjecture, but I hope these become predictions and they come true. Okay, next. Internationally, I would say the it's not a fight, that's the word that came to my mind first, but the persuasion of the big five, the countries that comprise the Security Council in the United Nations. There are 5 people. One of them we recommended. Nehru said, we don't want to be among the big fives. Let China. Nehru recommended China to be one of the big five. India was offered. He refused. He denied India the chance to be one of the big five where there is a veto. All 5 have to agree, otherwise, no. Things cannot be done. I believe a sustained effort to persuade these big fives to include India as the 6th strongest nation in the world. We already are 3rd. I am not including China in those 3: US, Russia, and India. We could take on China any day, as has been the case in the last 3-4 years. In Doklam and in all those fingers, they always say finger 5, finger 4, finger 2, whatever. We have given them a irrecoverable bloody nose. We lost 20. And there was a Hyderabad colonel. I'm from Hyderabad. That hit home. But we survived and they retreated. Russian agencies, overseas spy agencies said we killed 144. CIA also put the number beyond 50, but Indian military says we killed twice as many as we lost. Those things apart, but India will be a part of the UN Security Council in the next 5 years. Courtesy Modiji. These are some of my predictions. Hopefully, somebody is listening and finds something that is doable, useful, and I hope very strongly that stuff that makes all Indians equal, should be implemented first. UCC, 2 children limit. That way, the rabbit like situation among the Muslims stops. The Mishra Commission, Jagannath Mishra, whoever, some Mishra Commission, he said it himself. The commission, it said that there are two reasons primarily keeping Muslims from any kind of prosperity, financial or otherwise, anything, and that is too many children and separation of women, not letting them work. These two reasons keep Muslims in the 6th century or 7th century, whenever that dude was born. Mishra Commission has said it. And I am saying, before going, 330, 335 plus or minus 10 is what is going to be Modiji's strength in the parliament. And after delimitation, yes, that was 1.2. Delimitation of constituencies will see the number of Lok Sabha seats rocket to close to 800 during the same third term of Modiji. And the popular phrase, bastion of this party, that party, those will also go into the oblivion. There will be no bastions of any party anywhere in India when Lok Sabha sees its strength going beyond 800. And it is going to happen during this time, the third term of Modiji. Modiji is in seclusion, he is meditating. I hope he brings back all the wealth of knowledge that he needs to instill among us and take India forward to becoming third largest economy and militarily third strongest. I hope that happens. मोदी जी, मैंने एक नया शब्द बनाया है. धन्यवाद बोलते हैं, साधुवाद बोलते हैं, मैं बोलूँगा मोदीवाद. आपने भारत को बचाया, बचा रहे हैं, इसलिए आपका मोदीवाद. जय श्री राम.